Hey guys, what is up? Welcome back to another video. In today's video, I will be showcasing the front nine at OAK QUARRY Golf Course in Riverside, California. OAK QUARRY Golf Course was recently ranked number 89 in Golf Week's top 100 public courses in the United States, and it is a really true hidden gem out in Southern California. So let's get started in the video. So the first hole is a 391-yard par 4, pretty straight. Second shot plays uphill onto a mountain, or a little base of the mountain. And I did pull my tee shot just a touch. I think myself 135 yards into the pin, so I did hit it pretty well. So this is just a pitching wedge, and hit it pretty well. Did pull it just a touch. This course was in immaculate shape. Just the areas off the fairway are designed to be kind of rugged, like you can see there. There's a view at the first hole. This actually used to be the old 17th hole. When the course was originally designed, this was the first hole, but where the range is located, it was easier for them to play what is now the third hole as the first hole. So starting last year, they did reroute the course to make this the first hole again, and it really provides a lot better of a finish, I think. So you can see I did pull this putt. I have about a 25-foot putt here for birdie, slightly downhill over a ridge. And I did not quite hit it hard enough. Kind of stayed up on that hill. And my dad, who I was playing with on the exact same line, made a 58-foot putt. So that didn't feel good to leave mine 4 feet short. And unfortunately, I just hit this one through the break. And yeah, I was not very happy about that. Sorry about the camera angle there. You guys cannot see where that ball ended up, but was able to roll that one in very nonchalantly for a bogey. Now onto the second hole, 383-yard par 4, downhill with water on the right. I am hitting a 3-wood off the tee. That bunker you can see in the center of the fairway was about 300 to reach, so I felt like if I hit a good 3-wood, I would stay short of it and end up in a much better spot than if I had hit driver. So this used to be the old 18th hole, like I was just saying. And it was a cool finishing hole. You can see there, view from the tee box, and you can see right above this hole is where the driving range is. Then the third hole is that little strip of grass you could see to the right of it. But you can see there's water on the right here, so hit a pretty good 3-wood out there. Now I have 78 yards into this pin. And I'm hitting a 54-degree wedge. Thinking playing at 80 because the pin was just over that bunker you can see. So I thought if I can fly it over that bunker, I'd be able to get a little bit of spin. And I pulled it. And this ball landed off the back edge and did spin down that hill. You can kind of see my ball there on the other side, kind of right where I'm walking. So if you guys wondering why that ball went so long, it wasn't the fact that I took too much club. When you pull it, when you hit a pole, the ball's naturally going to come out a little bit hotter. So that was the main reason. So now I have a long putt here for birdie from just off the green, and was able to roll that one pretty close. So able to tap that one in for a par. So good recovery after the first hole with a 3-putt. So like I was saying about this course, relatively new course. I think it was designed in 2000. And, I mean, just a really cool course in general. If you guys ever get a chance to come out to Southern California, I would highly recommend playing this course. So, third hole, 303 yards. It is drivable, and I'll hit a driver after this. But getting a 4-iron out there and play really was the smart play, and going into college, I'm really looking at playing the course smarter and not trying to use my driver as much and kind of use brute force to work my way around this course. But I did hit driver just to show you guys where that would end up. The green is, you'll see in a second, just over those bunkers. So I hit that one pretty well. Did pull it just a touch, but ended up in a pretty good spot. Well, what I thought was a pretty good spot. You'll see where that ball ended up in a minute. But here's a view of that hole. You can see the green's just over those bunkers. And if you pan to the right, you can see the second hole there. And just the view from The third tee box is probably one of the best ones on the course, but there are some really nice views on this course, so stay tuned for that. So second shot here from 96 yards out. Pin was back, so it adds about another 10 yards to this hole. And I couldn't see the pin. The pin is just over that bunker, or in line with that bunker. And there is a canyon behind this green, so I didn't quite trust that it was 96 yards. Played at 90 and did come up just a touch short. You can see there's the green right there. And pan over on the left side of the screen. Right there, you can see where my drive ended up. Only bad part about that is you have that little rock right there. And with a back pin, you can't hit a shot over that and expect it to stop close. You're chipping down the mountain and really just don't have a good chance of getting it close. So 35 footer here for birdie up the hill. And I thought this ball was going to just drop on the front edge and did come up about a foot short. But can't expect too much for a 35-40 footer. So a good par there. Starting to build some momentum after the bad first hole. And when this hole used to be the first hole, it really was more difficult than it is now. Because when you're just coming off the range, you're still a little stiff. And you could hit driver, but it's not a good play like you just saw me there. So definitely a little bit easier now that you've had a couple holes to warm up. Fourth hole here, par 5, 572. And you might be wondering why I'm hitting 3-wood here. So there's a bunker on the left side of the fairway, which is about 290 off the tee. And with this tee shot being a touch downhill, my driver easily flies into that. And it is a really narrow fairway with that same canyon that was behind the first green, or the third green, now on the right. So you can see a view of this hole. And I'm going to zoom in right now, and that's actually where the green is. So very difficult par 4, or par 5, sorry. Here's a view from the fairway, just kind of by where my ball was. You can see that canyon all down the right, and that bunker just left of the fairway, but it really does narrow that landing area. Second shot here, 281 yards to the flag. I'm just trying to hit a little bunt 3-wood and get it out there, short of the green. And don't quite know what happened here. I was probably about half of a millimeter off from hitting a cold top. Did work out though. Ball ended up a little further away than I wanted to, but still in the fairway. Third shot here, 104 yards, hitting a 54-degree wedge. Those two bunkers on the left of the green are probably some of the hardest bunkers to hit out of, no matter where the pin is. It is probably 7 or 8 feet from the base of that bunker to the base of the green. So don't want to end up in those bunkers. Was able to hit a pretty good shot there. You'll see it in a second. And just the view from the green, looking back up at the fairway, you can see how much this hole plays downhill. So got about a 12-footer here for birdie. Hope you guys like these camera angles from behind the pin. I think it showed you guys a little bit more of what's actually happening with the ball. So if you guys do like these camera angles, please let me know, and I'll be sure to add some more in upcoming videos. I do have a couple good videos planned, so stay tuned for those videos. So here we go, 12-footer for birdie, down the hill. And this is one of the few greens that actually breaks towards the mountain.
Wobbling. Good par.
If you guys ever play this course, I've shown it in a couple of other clips, but there's a big kind of rock wall on the other side of the road. And pretty much that's what everything breaks towards, except for a couple holes. And number 4 is one of the holes that does not break towards that rock wall. It actually breaks up the mountain. Anyway, tapped in for par. On to the 5th hole, definitely the easiest of the par 3s. Playing 150 yards today, I am hitting a 9-iron with the pin up. This hole always plays a touch more uphill, about half a club. And I did pull this one and got very lucky. Did just stay out of the bunker and ended up staying on the green. So, very fortunate about that, because these greenside bunkers here are very steep, and if you end up in them, you're in for a lot of trouble. So, 30-footer here for birdie. You're going to see I didn't quite like this putt at first. I really expected it to break hard right, which it ended up doing at the very end, but definitely didn't break until the kind of last couple feet. So, once again, able to tap in for another par. So after that first hole, I've had a lot of easy pars, which isn't bad. I would like to get some birdies, but stay tuned for a couple of those coming up. Now, on to the 6th hole, one of the coolest par 4s on the front 9. 352 yards is very much a risk-reward hole, because you can drive this green if you hit it hard. I decided to lay up with a 4-iron to a split fairway. There is a fairway on the right, which is higher up, and a fairway on the left, which is lower, which is preferably the one you want to be on. And my ball got a great kick off the side of the hill and kicked down to the bottom fairway. You guys will see this hole in a second in a little more detail. You can see the 2 fairways, and that's the green right there. You actually, if you go for this green, you're hitting over the driving range. So you better hit a good shot, or else you are re-teeing. And you can see the split fairway there, the higher fairway on the right and the lower fairway on the left. Like I said, very much a risk-reward hole if you decide to hit driver. And you can see that rock wall I was talking about right there. Everything breaks towards that. And this is another one of the holes that doesn't quite follow that rule, but after this, there's not many. Sorry about this camera angle being a little different. I couldn't find a place to get the camera close to my ball for you guys to see not only my swing, but the entire shot. So this was the best I can do. Still a pretty cool camera angle, though. I would definitely have to admit. So 136 yards. Did catch it slightly off the toe. Did get on the green. The pin was in the back, so ultimately not too upset with that. Would have liked to have been a little closer, but can't be complaining after hitting not a terrible shot. So I have a 30-footer here for 40. I'm so sorry about that, guys. 40-footer here for birdie, and this ball just missed. I mean, it was almost probably an inch from going in, and just rolled slightly past the hole. So I will go ahead and tap in for my par. So good to keep a par streak going. 7th hole, definitely the hardest par 3 on the front 9. 222 over a chasm. I'm hitting a 5-iron here, and wind always swirls in this canyon, so you really have no clue what direction the wind's blowing until you actually hit your ball. And that was probably one of my best long iron swings in a while. This ball was tracking right at the pin and just went over really flew over the back of the pin. And you'll see where this ball ended up once we get up to the green. So here's another view of this hole. You can see the green there over that chasm. And there's the next hole. And you can see the views are absolutely amazing from this course. And there's still some better ones, I think, coming up. So I hit that from 220 to 6 feet. So definitely one of my best swings of the day. So, like I said, 6 feet. This putt breaking to the right. And thought I put this on a pretty good line. It just snapped hard at the end. I was very disappointed. Really wanted to birdie on this hole, but even walking off with a par isn't terrible on a par 3 at 222 yards. So, tapping in for par. Keeping the par streak alive. Now on to the 8th hole. 419-yard par 4. Hitting another 3-wood. The front end of this course isn't super long, playing 3,200 yards. But the back nine definitely plays a lot longer. So I can hit a lot of 3-woods and kind of place myself in good spots off the tee on this front nine. And hit this one really well and never saw it off the club. No clue. And unfortunately couldn't find it. We ended up just assuming that it went into that crap right there, so I did take a penalty drop. So hitting my third shot from 137 yards downhill, hitting a 50-degree wedge. And yeah, chunked it. So wasn't very happy about that shot. But yeah, still thought I could get up and down for bogey. 12 yards. This actually might be a little longer than 12 yards, but that's what I put down in my notes. So 12 yards, slightly downhill chip, and I'm just trying to let this one kind of pitch short and run. And this ball was tracking the entire way, and about an inch short. So I didn't get that putt on video because it was essentially a tap in. I did make the putt, so end up with a bogey on number 8. Hitting on to number 9, 403 yards uphill. And this is probably one of the tougher holes. It looks very easy, but the second shot is really difficult. Probably one of the hardest on the course. And I hit a pretty good drive here. All day my drives have just had a little draw to them. And of course I play for it and it goes dead straight. And yeah, I did hit that tree and it dropped down. So once again, this is another one of the holes where I couldn't get the camera to stand up anywhere in the shot I wanted. So unfortunately, you guys can't see the green here, but hit this one pretty well. Started just right and stayed low right. Ball was above my feet. I really thought it would turn over, and you can see I'm a little frustrated about it right there. So you can see my third shot just over the back of the green. Just trying to hit a little chip and run. Play this pretty far right and let it trickle on. And once again, I'm just putting this back in my stance and just trying to let gravity do the work. And I have never gotten a bounce that bad on a chip. If that bounces forward like I thought it would, it probably ends up a lot closer to the hole. But unfortunately, it got that terrible bounce and ended up 7 feet, actually 6 feet from the pin. So not a terrible chip, but just bad result. So here we are for par. Uphill 6-footer. And at this point, my camera was doing something weird where it would only record 30-second clips. And I usually take a lot longer when I'm filming. So, save you guys some time, I will end up rolling this putt in. You guys will see right now. So, thank you guys for watching. Shot 2 over 37 on the front 9. See you guys in the next video.